So we're talking about Republican leaders, politicians who are not and who are supporting Donald Trump. It's so bad that even S.C. Cupp is not supporting Donald Trump. That's how bad it is. S.C. Cupp, by the way, who's an atheist who believes in God. No, I don't think she does. But she is an atheist who's a Republican, and that's kind of got her famous. She's the atheist Republican, S.C. Cupp. Even she's upset about it. In fact, she wrote in the Daily News, she said other figures, she's talking about people who aren't normally Republicans who identify as Republican, including people like Warren Buffett, Michael Bloomberg, Mark Cuban, Henry Paulson, Richard Armitage, and Brent Scowcroft, she points out, have all said publicly that they will vote for Clinton. Those are people who have either aligned with the Republicans in years past or are respected among many Republicans. And they came out and publicly said they're voting for Clinton. And she is like, so S.C. Cupp says, frankly, that there haven't been more high-profile Republican defectors this election is surprising and disappointing. I'll say, yeah, you think? Hey, kudos to John Kasich for not going to the convention in Cleveland, even though he's the mayor of Ohio. The governor of Ohio. Kudos to John. That's nice. And Ron Portman didn't go. As a senator from Ohio, didn't go to the convention either. You know why? He's up for election, and he thinks it's going to hurt him. But wouldn't it be? But I think they're all saying they're still going to vote for the Republican. They're not. None of them said they're not going to vote against him. And it's just so she says, frankly, there has been. That there hasn't been more high-profile Republican defectors this election is surprising and disappointing. Even if most are backing Trump under the guise of party unity, this is S.C. Cupp talking. She says Trump has proven time and time again that he cares little for unity and even less for the party. That is true. So she's saying your own rationale for doing this, he shits all over it. So
I think these people are just waiting for Trump to really say something stupid, really go over the line. That way they can have an easy out. And all this other,
I think the only thing that could hurt Donald Trump at this point is if there's an open microphone and he gets caught saying something compassionate. That could sink him.
Yes.
So here she goes on. S.C. Cupp says, I think it's safe to say that history will be kind to those who had the courage to denounce the nativist, reckless, uninformed, and ugly candidacy of Donald Trump. I agree. It takes a Donald Trump to make me agree with S.C. Cupp. But she's right. I don't understand. So that just shows you. And the fact that Chris Christie, who his whole thing was, I appeal to Democrats. I'm a Republican in a blue state, and I got 70% of the reelect. To jump on board behind Donald Trump, just, wow, could you be a more craven? Just completely reveals himself to be the most craven of politicians, Chris Christie. And S.C. Cupp calls him nativist, reckless, uninformed, and an ugly candidacy. So here's what she's saying. She wants other high-profile Republicans to denounce Donald Trump and say, because why? Listen to what she's very interesting. She said in 2008, Obama's campaign strategist David Axelrod had to mobilize voters who might not otherwise be comfortable voting for a black president. And he did so largely through third-party authentication or endorsements from influential leaders that appealed to those voters, from Colin Powell to Ted and Caroline Kennedy. This approach was called a permission structure, a term you'll likely hear resurrected. So she's saying that if more high-profile, like with Barack Obama, independents, highly respected people in our culture got out and said, I'm voting for Barack Obama, so it gave permission for other people who were kind of nervous about it to go ahead and do it. And she's saying that's what Republicans need to do now. There needs to be more prominent Republicans coming out saying, I'm not supporting that guy. This is horrible, and we better take our party back from him. And it's funny that it's coming from someone like S.C. Cupp, and she's calling out people with actual power. Hank?
Well, it's like someone needs to clap first.
Yeah.
Someone needs to start the applause.
Yeah.
And it probably will. But I doubt that'll actually
We'll see.
happen.
We saw them all get in line. Paul Ryan got in line. Mitch McConnell got in line to support Donald Trump. So it just goes to show you they have no dignity. They take drugs to sleep at night. And I don't know.
How many free Trump steaks are these people getting?
That's what I'm asking.
They take Fox News to sleep at night.
So and John McCain, by the way, let's remember, he was called not a war hero because he was captured. Not only did Donald Trump crap on John McCain for being captured, but he crapped on all soldiers who were captured or killed, right? Because he likes them, the ones who weren't. Which should be disqualifier right there to be the commander-in-chief. Guess what? John McCain, who was actually captured and tortured, doesn't. He still endorses him. And then now Donald Trump's attacking the mothers of dead soldiers. McCain denounces that. I still want that guy leading our military. That's how craven John McCain is. If you ever had, how did he pick? I bet he really regrets Sarah Palin. No, he doesn't. That's who he is. He's a panderer of the first order. John McCain, who has the intestinal fortitude to stand up to torturers in a war, doesn't have the guts to stand up to his own base because they might take some of his power away. I might not be as popular. You're still going to get invited on Meet the Press, John. I don't know what you're worried about. You don't do dick in the Senate anyway. You're still going to be a famous guy. Go ahead.
Well, at least he sounds like he's in pain when he endorses him. Yeah, and I endorsed the person our party nominated.
What a profile in courage.
Yeah.
It's wrong that he's shitting on a soldier, mother of a dead soldier, but I'm still that guy. I'm voting for him. I think you guys should all vote for him, too.
It's foolish to expect this to happen. There's not going to be any cascade of rescinding from Trump because it's like we're expecting the party of always doing the wrong thing forever to suddenly do the right thing.
But you thought there was a shred of dignity in John McCain because of how tough he was in the war. You thought there was.
No.
There is not. When he rolled over to the Bushes, he traded it. He made a deal with the devil, and he's never recovered from it. He went from hugging George Bush, who race baited him. He went from hugging George Bush to picking Sarah Palin to now endorsing Donald Trump. What is your life worth, John McCain? Nothing. Do you have integrity at all? Do you have any dignity? No, you don't. Because if you can endorse this guy, you don't have any of that stuff. And you certainly aren't a leader. And what you're doing is hurting our country on purpose for personal gain. That's what John McCain's doing and all the other Republicans who are endorsing him.
You know, it's interesting that Lindsey Graham came out against Trump. He's saying nay, and he tweeted, "If we nominate Trump, we will get destroyed, and we will deserve it."
Lindsey Graham, more balls than John McCain.